Alright, hello everybody, I am back, and this time with just a simple verbal tutorial on the ghost types in Phasmophobia. I'm just going to be opening the journal right here and explaining about all the ghost types and how to easily identify them, how to deal with them, and obviously about their powers and stuff. So you open your journal with J and you go to the Ghosts tab. I'm quite happy we got a thunderstorm for me explaining ghosts. That's my favorite weather in this game, next to snowy. Right, ghosts. First off is the spirit. So spirit is a very common ghost according to the game, but they have the same amount of... They have the same rarity as any other ghost, apart from currently the mimic is slightly more common due to it being them having been recently added. So, okay, anyways. Spirits, say they are very powerful but passive, only attacking when they need to. And what this means is spirits are very active, which is true. They are very active and they aren't very aggressive in terms of hunts. They're opposed to death to their utmost degree, killing anyone that's caught overstaying their welcome. This is kind of just bullshit. It doesn't really mean anything. Spirits don't have any strengths. They don't have a strength. That's it. They don't. But a weakness is spirit can be temporarily stopped by burning smudge sticks near them. Now, every ghost in this game, you can stop them from hunting by burning a smudge stick in their vicinity. It will stop them from hunting for 90 seconds. A spirit and maybe a banshee, I think. There was another ghost type that also had that weakness. Will be stopped for 180 seconds if you burn a smudge stick. EMF 5, Spirit Box, Ghost Riding. Just your good old favorite. Just a starter kit, you know. In terms of spirits, there's not really much. Usually when you get a spirit, you'll just be happy because they're going to be quite active. That's it. We move on to the Wraith. The Wraith is a bit angry, in my opinion. Hence why it is tier 2 sub-name on my channel. Wraiths are one of the most dangerous ghosts you will find. Mwah. Yeah, that depends. It is also the only ghost that has the ability of flight. This only means that when you put down salt, it doesn't always step in it when going past it, while all other ghosts, if they walk over the salt, will always step in it. However, they do sometimes step in salt, and when wraiths step in salt, they don't leave UV visible footprints. So if you ever see a ghost step in salt and then you hear footstep noises and you don't see any footprints anywhere, you know you're dealing with a wraith. It has been known to travel through walls. That's complete utter bullshit. That might be connected to how it wanders around the map, but it doesn't go through walls during hunts and stuff. Strength raised, almost never touch the ground, meaning can't be tracked by footsteps. That's correct. That's also something I completely forgot to say, but that's that wraiths also barely do. Wraiths also don't leave any hearable footsteps, but I think a month or 2 or 3 ago they changed it so that you can now only hear footsteps with a paramic, which is kind of sad because I really love being able to hear footsteps without the paramic. Like you just walk into a building, stand in the middle of it, complete utter silence, you listen, and somewhere above you hear dunk, and you're like, aha, there it is. So yeah, that's kind of sad. But yeah, wraiths never had footsteps, so if you were in the ghost room, you know the ghost was there, and you didn't hear any footsteps in the old update, you know it was a wraith, but that's completely unnecessary unless you have a paramic on you. Wraiths have a toxic reaction to salt. This means that if they do end up stepping in your salt and not leaving any footprints, they'll become angry, and their activity and likeliness to hunt will increase. EMF 5, Spirit Box, Dots. You know, they used to be freezing, but they aren't anymore. Well, there's not much special about this ghost apart from the fact that it's kind of hunt happy, and especially after touching salt. Phantom. One of my favorite. A phantom is a ghost that can possess the living, inducing fear of those around it. They are most commonly summoned from Ouija boards. Strength. Looking at a phantom will drop your sanity considerably faster. Now this speaks for itself. During a ghost event, if the phantom is showing itself and you're able to see it, or it's within the range that you get heartbeats from it, your sanity will drop faster than it would with normal ghost events of other ghosts. Weakness, taking a photo of the phantom will make it temporarily disappear. I'm not sure if this is a weakness or not, but during a ghost event, if you see the ghost and you take a picture of it and it's gone on both the picture and in the game, but you can still hear it, then it's a phantom. But usually if you take a ghost photo outside of a hunt and it's not on the photo, then it's a phantom in general, because ghosts don't randomly disappear when you take a picture. Spirit box, fingerprints, dots. So, girl set. They are most commonly summoned from Ouija boards. That's important info to give. Phantoms have the ability to wander to players with or to just randomly wander to the Ouija board. Like if there's a Ouija board anymore, they will just randomly walk towards it. And that means that, especially now with the ability for ghosts to change rooms, that is a bit annoying, because that means they can change rooms all the way to where the Ouija board is. And that might actually be handy, because then, you know, it goes there and you find the Ouija board. Phantoms have a easy way of seeing, because I'm not even completely sure if ghosts work like this anymore, because I barely see them visible during hunts. But during hunts, ghosts will flash. They will blink on and off, like between visible and invisible. Ghosts do this between every 0.2 and 2 seconds or something. A phantom, however, does this between every 1 and 3 seconds. So if the ghost is walking around during a hunt and it flashes a lot less, like visibly less, then it's also a phantom. So phantoms are very good at giving themselves away, unfortunately. Next up, Polty. One of the most famous ghosts. That's true, obviously. Poltergeists. Everyone knows. Known to manipulate objects around to spread fear to his victims. Strength. Poltergeists can throw multiple objects at once. This is by the Phasmophobia community, commonly referred to as the Giga Yeet. In which there's a very good video evidence of it, of someone putting down a bunch of candles in one room, and the ghost just throws all of them at once, just VOM, all over the room. With nothing to throw, poltergeists become powerless. True. I mean, most ghosts become pretty powerless if there's nothing to interact with, but okay. Poltergeists are really good at giving themselves away, apart from the Giga 8. If you see activity suddenly spike, if you hear a throw, or if you think you hear multiple throws at once, go to the truck immediately. If the activity spikes straight from 0 to 10, it's a poltergeist. You can't be 100% sure, but in that case it is pretty certain that's a poltergeist, but you'll have to just get spirit box, fingerprints, and ghost writing, which I think is actually, the poltergeist is I think one of the only ghosts that has kept their old evidence set from before the whole reshuffle update with the Yokai and Hantu, I think. Yeah, so when the Yokai and Hantu came into the game, the dots was introduced and all of the evidence was reshaped. Banshee! Banshee is a great ghost, by the way. The singing siren, known for attracting its victims through song. It has been known to single out its prey before making a killing blow. Strength. A Banshee will only target one person at a time, which in my opinion is actually a weakness and not a strength. So, during a game, the Banshee will pick a person in your party as its target. This is why quite often I do a target check with a smudge stick when I find out that it's a Banshee. It will only try to kill that person during the hunt. Anyone who isn't the target can literally just walk straight through it, and you'll be alive. However, if the target is not in the building, it will try to kill anyone else. Banshees fear the crucifix and will be less aggressive near one, rather than the 3-meter range for a crucifix to have an effect. You throw it on the ground and then it prevents the ghost from hunting if it tries to hunt within 3 meters. A Banshee has a range of 6 meters on the crucifix. Banshees, well, as I already said, just do a Banshee check and you'll know who the target is, and anyone who isn't the target can just walk around during hunts, take ghost photos, get more interactions, you know, because especially now, after this new update, ghosts will now throw things during hunts. So you can get interaction photos in the middle of a hunt. Plus fingerprints, because it has fingerprints. And that should be it. However, there's just a little thing that I forgot. I haven't heard of all of the other special traits. Oh my god, I completely forgot. Spirit has another extra trait that is with the paramike. As the Wraith does not do any hearable footsteps with the paramike, the Spirit does more, does higher than average footsteps. That is how I got my personal best 30-second Spirit run. Because back then I didn't need the paramike, and I just walked into the house, I heard a footstep, heard an interaction, heard another footstep within 30 seconds, I was out. I was out. However, it's not like this. Banshees have a special paramike sound. So you hold up the paramike, and there's this kind of banshee scream. It sounds kind of like, and that only the banshee can make that sound through the paramike. Let's move on now to the Djinn. A Djinn is a territorial ghost that will attack when threatened. It has also been known to travel at significant speed. Strength: a Djinn will travel at a faster speed if its victim is far away. So if the Djinn is chasing you and it's further away from you, through like usually hallways of a big map like High School or Asylum, it'll go faster. It will go at about, what is it, 1.5 or 1.3 or something meters per second, or 2.2. Sorry, yeah, I think it was 2 meters per second or 1.3, something like that, or 1.5. Yeah, I think it was 1.5. 1.5 meters per second. The player's sprinting speed is, I think, 2 meters per second. However, you'll also be normally walking, so you'll have to constantly switch back and forth between those two. Turning off the location's power source will prevent the Djinn from using its ability. That's also important. Djinns are physically unable to turn the breaker off. So if you have a ghost that just doesn't turn the breaker off at all. I don't even know. I haven't checked it ever, but are these ghosts able to turn the breaker on? I don't think ghosts are able to turn the breaker on. And that should be it. For EMF5, fingerprints, and freezing temperatures. We move on to the mare. The mare is dangerous. Danger. Source of all nightmares, making it powerful in the dark. A mare will have an increased chance to attack in the dark, and turning the lights on around the mare will lower its chance to attack. So very simple. If the lights in the ghost room are off, it can hunt at 60% average team sanity. If the lights are on, it can only hunt from 40% average team sanity. I also forgot to mention that a Banshee has a special power that allows it to hunt its target at 65% sanity, but that's irrelevant. Spirit Box, Ghost Orbs, and Ghost Riding. This is the second ghost that has kept its old evidence through the reshuffle. So I remember the old Orbs and Riding combo. Next, the Revenant. This thing is the Flash, and you should watch out. And you can see because of the massive description. A Revenant is a violent ghost that will attack indiscriminately. Their speed can be deceiving, as they are slow while dormant. However, as soon as they hunt, they can move incredibly fast. Strength. A Revenant will travel at a significantly faster speed when hunting their prey. Weakness. Hiding from a Revenant will cause it to move very slowly. Very simple. Revenants don't have many special quirks apart from the fact that when they're hunting and they can see someone, they'll move at 2 meters per second. That is player sprinting speed. And then keep in mind the fact that you also have to have cooldown on your sprint, so you can't sprint forever, so you'll need to try and break line of sight. If you break line of sight once, it'll keep all of its speed and it will go to the place where it saw you last. If it doesn't see you once it's there, it will lose all of its speed. And if the Revenant can't see anyone from then on, it will move very slow. So if there's someone in the house hiding and you're outside and the ghost is hunting and you look through a window and you see the ghost going very slowly, then it's either a Rev or a Hantu, which I will explain later. And that's pretty much all that there is about Revenant. Keep your smudge sticks ready, I'd say. Shade. It's just fireworks outside, never mind. I was like, what? The shade is known to be very shy. This evidence suggests the shade will stop all paranormal activity if there are multiple people nearby. That is sometimes big BS. The shade can still hunt if there's multiple people in the room. That's, I guess, a bit broken. EMF 5 Ghost Riding Freezing. I think this is... yeah, this has been changed. The shade used to have fingerprints, I think. No, it didn't used to have fingerprints. EMF 5 Ghost Riding... I think it had... no, I don't know. I think it may have... yeah, wait, shade did have freezing. I think this is another ghost that kept its old evidence. It's just my guess, okay? I'm not a pro in this game. Again, this is a mediocre guide to ghost types. Shades are much harder to find. That is because they're very passive, even if you're on your own. However, if you're on your own, they have a higher chance of interacting with stuff compared to if there's multiple people. They will, by the way, not stop all paranormal activity if there's multiple people nearby. They will still be touching shit, but they'll be... the ghost will not enter hunted with multiple people nearby, as I already explained. Bullshit. Shade, not specific, not anything specific. That's it. Oh, Banshees have another thing that gives them away. They like to prefer crying noises during, or crying or laughing during hunts and ghost events. Now the most dangerous one, especially on big maps. The demon. A demon is one of the worst ghosts you can encounter. True. It has been known to attack without reason. I mean, a lot of them attack without reason, but okay. Strength. Demons volitions hunts more often than other ghosts. Completely, well, that speaks for itself. The demon is now by far the most difficult ghost in the game. Previously, the demon could hunt from 65% team sanity and lower. Now, the demon can hunt from 65% team sanity and lower, with its rare ghost ability being it being able to hunt at any sanity. So you can literally get a, I don't know, Phasmophobia death speed run by walking into the house and just getting a instant demon hunt. Again, demons will take less sanity when answering through the Ouija board. That's true. If you ask a question, it will usually take 40% of your sanity, or I think they reduced that, maybe back down to 30 as it used to be. The demons will take less. Although I think, actually, I don't know how they've changed this, because you can now no longer fail questions on the Ouija board, and... oh wait, yeah, no, sorry, I forgot. Failing a question on the Ouija board used to take 10% sanity off, and getting the question right would not take any sanity off. So if you ask a successful question on the Ouija board, and your sanity doesn't drop, it's a demon. And that's it, they'll just hunt a lot more, and that's why they're dangerous. Yuri. Yuri has a very nice ability, and that's very interesting. Yuri is a ghost that has returned to the physical world, usually for the purpose of revenge or hatred. Strength. Yuris have been known to have a stronger effect on people's sanity. This means that while the... I think... no, actually, this is related to its special ghost power to do invisible ghost events. So if you know you're dealing with a Yuri when you're just standing in a room and the light just turns off and the door closes, but the ghost is not there. That's an invisible ghost event, and only Yuris can do those. If it makes a noise though, it's still it can still be another ghost. Smudging the Yuri. Ah, there we go. The Yuri is another one. Smudging the Yuri's place of death will trap it, temporarily reducing how much it wanders. So Yuri is the other ghost next to the spirit that has that 180 seconds smudge time. Ghost orbs freezing and dots. I forgot to tell you fingerprints goes around freezing. We move on to the Oni, one of my favorite ghosts, and it's you, my followers. Onis love to scare their victims as much as possible for attacking. They are often seen in their physical form, guarding their place of death. Onis are more active when people are nearby, and have been seen moving objects at great speed. This is important because Onis can throw objects hard. They can throw them hard. Onis are very active, making them easier to find. Makes sense. Not much about the Oni apart from the fact that it's just super active and does a lot of stuff when there's multiple people nearby. So if you're on your own and it doesn't do much, and then your friends come into the house or come towards the ghost, and suddenly it starts doing stuff a lot more, then you might be dealing with an Oni. Even 5 freezing and dots. Great DOTS. The Yokai. This is the first. So originally there were 12 ghosts, and now in the last bunch of updates we've had another 9 added. The first of those, with the new dots update, this is the first ghost from where the whole evidence was reshaken. The Yokai. Yokai are very common ghosts that are attracted to human voices. They can usually be found haunting family homes. Yokai watch. Haha, get it? Strength. Talking near a yokai will anger it, increasing the chance of an attack. This is true. If you talk a lot near a yokai, it has an increased chance of hunting. If you talk near a yokai, so a yokai can hunt from 50% sanity, just like any other ghost. However, if you're talking, it can hunt from 80%. So this is an angry boy. When hunting, a yokai can only hear voices close to it. I think it's about a range of 10 meters or something rather than 20. Or so. No, I think it's 5 rather than 10 or something like that. I don't know. Spirit box, ghost orbs, dots. Boom. Baby. Yokais. Not much special. Myelins, however, are interesting. Myelin. Sorry. Oh, wait. We move on to the Hantu first. We have the Myelin at 60. Hantu. A Hantu is a rare ghost that thrives in the coldest climates. The cold seems to make them more aggressive and empowered. I think this was Malay or Indonesian for ghosts or something. Lower temperatures allow the hunter to move at faster speeds. Usually this is only the ghost rooms and the ghosts and the things around. So if the temperatures are lower in the room, it will move faster. There was another ghost where I was gonna explain this next to it. Oh yeah, there's the slowness of the Revenant. The hunters will move slower in warmer areas, so if it goes all the way out of its ghost room, usually during hunts, and it gets to a warmer room after you've turned the breaker on, like when it's 18 degrees or something, it will move very slowly, just like a Revenant, and that's why you don't instantly say, oh, it's a Rev. However, you can if you, for example, have... there's at least one evidence that they don't have in common, and that is fingerprints and ghost riding. So if you have ghost riding and you see that, you can be like, oh, it's a Revenant. If you have fingerprints and you see that, you can be like, it's a Hantu, but they both have ghost orbs and freezing in common, so don't instantly assume. Hantus, been nice, but they were pretty inactive previously. A Hantu has a new ability in this update, where in the rooms where it is freezing, you'll see clouds of breath, just like how the player breathes clouds of cold air, you know. You'll notice those clouds of breath just kind of floating around the room, and at that point you know you're dealing with a Hantu. I think I have a clip of that on my Twitch called Incredible Discovery or something, of me finding out about the clouds of breath, and I love it. I absolutely love it. Number 15, the Goryo. Number 15, the Goryo. When a Goryo passes through a dots projector, using a video camera is the only way to see it. That's not true, by the way. A Goryo will interact with dots, but only if there is no one in the room. As you can see, it will only show itself on camera if there are no people nearby. Luckily, it will still do ghost events, but it will only interact with the dots if there is no one within, either in the ghost room or within a 10-meter range or something, which means you can look at it from a distance with a video camera. Main example was Insim. He put a dots projector in the hallway at ridge view and then stood in the living room and he could see it from the distance. But yeah, usually main way to get it, if you only get 2 pieces, might be Goryo. Put down the dots projector, put a camera pointing towards it, go back to the truck and then wait for it to interact with it and you'll see it. They are rarely seen far from their place of death. Goryo will not wander as much as other ones. That's pretty much their only strength. Number 5, fingerprints and dots. By the way, don't mind about all the evidence. You can now cross it off and it will automatically show you what ghosts are still left. I chose a combination that isn't possible. See? You can also cross things off, so for example, you've checked multiple doors after them being touched and hasn't left fingerprints, you can do this. And that blocks out all the ones that have fingerprints. Anyways, we return. Here we go. This is the Myelin. A Myelin is a very vocal and active ghost, and rumored to be quiet when... A Myelin is known to be quieter when hunting. And what this means is, normally you can hear footsteps of a ghost within a range, during hunts, within a range of 20 meters. With a Myelin, that range is only 10, so if the ghost starts walking away from you while you're in the closet and you suddenly stop hearing the footprints way earlier than what you think it should be, then you might be dealing with a Myelin. Myelins are also very easy to detect because if you hold a paramic, then they'll have a higher chance they'll more frequently make paranormal sounds into the paramic. And its evidence is very notorious. That is because EMF5 fingerprints and ghostwriting used to be the evidence of the Revenant. So whenever you would get like, oh god, we got fingerprints. Oh no, we got ghostwriting. Talk to me, spirit box, please. Please. No. Yeah. That was a Revenant background, but now it's a Myelin. Fun fact, Killer Spy has played with us for quite a long time and he didn't even get a Myelin in a month of playing with us. He crashed out 2 times when we got one. An Onryo is often referred to as the Wrathful Spirit. Funny enough, when they first teased this ghost, they blurred out the Onryo and stuff and other parts of this text here, but they left in the Wrathful Spirit, and all it took was a 10-second Google search and we instantly knew it was going to be Onryo, especially since we saw this thing here at the bottom kind of sticking out and the rest kind of being roundish. This is a fire ghost. This one's amazing. Extinguisher of flame can cause an Onryo to attack. So unfortunately you used to be able to trigger hunts from an Onryo by just throwing your candle on the ground, which would extinguish it. Now it actually needs to blow out the candle, and then it gets angry at itself for blowing out the candle or something. However, when threatened, this ghost will be less likely to hunt. What this means is, if you can see, this ghost will be known to fear any form of fire when threatened. If you put candles around where the Onryo is, the candles for the Onryo will work as a sort of crucifix, and it will prefer blowing out the candles over using the crucifix. So if the ghost... if you're like 0 sanity or something, and the ghost keeps blowing out all the candles all the time and not using the crucifix, then it might be an Onryo. Spirit box ghost stops freezing. Onryo are usually very well known for giving you the evidence quite quickly, actually, and they're amazing. Now to the most intriguing ghosts they add in that update, and they only teased these two for that update, and that was the Nightmare Mode update. The twins have reported to be transactions. They alternate attacks with your prey. Our twin gang to the initiative attack another prey. There are 2 ghosts. One is the one that just walks around and does it, and the other one is the one that kind of only wanders somewhere else and only interacts when the main twin interacts with something. However, both twins can be angered, and the main twin can hunt, and the main twin will walk at 90% walk speed. The decoy twin can hunt and will move at 110% speed. That's the most interesting thing found about twins. Twins are also very easily detectable sometimes when the EMF like suddenly goes up and then kind of slopes on the same slope. It suddenly changes how fast it goes up. Especially with EMF5, it's quite easy to see. I haven't had any thunder strikes for a while. Are you okay, Weather? So yeah, the twins are pretty nice. So, but if you hear an interaction somewhere and then hear another interaction somewhere else that isn't really too close to it, then you are probably dealing with twins. Raiju, one of the new most dangerous ghosts. This one, along with the Obaka, were added to the game without anyone knowing that they were going to be added. They only teased the Onryo and the twins, and then out of nowhere we were spoiled with 2 more. A Raiju is a demon that thrives on electrical current. While generally calm, they can be agitated when overwhelmed with power. A Raiju is very scary, because while a Revenant moves at 2 meters per second while it can see someone, a Raiju will move at 1.8 meters per second if it steps on an electrical device while hunting. This is most commonly and easily tested by putting out a trail of electrical stuff, putting a camera all the way at the end of that trail, hoping that it doesn't glitch out, because, for example, at Willow, this is very easy. You put it in the corner of the living room near the door, and then put a line all the way to the back towards the boys' bedroom. You'll see that it goes really fast as soon as it steps on your stuff. Raiju are constantly destructing electronic equipment, and when attacking, make it easier to track. I have not specifically seen this, but I think the range for a Raiju to make your electronic equipment go crazy is a bit bigger, I think. EMF 5, ghost orbs, and dots. Ooh. No I mean, okay, yeah, stinky dots. Bang. Bang. Stinky dots, stinky book. Obaka, well, I showed that one in my previous video, just go watch it if you haven't already. Obaka are terrifying shapeshifters capable of taking on many forms that have been seen, taking on humanoid shapes to attack their prey. When interacting with the environment, an Obaka will rarely leave a trace. This means that when touching doors, they have a 50% of leaving fingerprints rather than a 100% chance. If they have fingerprints, they have, obviously. For example, a Yokai doesn't have fingerprints, so he won't leave fingerprints on a door if he touches it. Sometimes the ghost will shapeshift, leaving behind unique evidence. It doesn't specifically shapeshift, but if it touches a door, it also has a chance of leaving a handprint with 6 fingers. Only the Obaka can leave handprints with 6 fingers, so if you find a handprint with 6 fingers, boom, Obaka. However, the Mimic is known of mirroring traits from others, and I don't know if that includes 6-fingered handprints. I don't think it does. The Mimic is an elusive, mysterious copycat ghost that mirrors traits and behaviors from others, including other ghost types. Yes. I don't think it will copy hunting speed like Revenant Hantu and stuff, but it will mimic traits, like for example maybe Hantu's freezing breath, or what is it? Don't know. Poltergeist's ability to throw multiple things at once. I don't know. But it does act like a lot of different Spirit Box fingerprints freezing temps. This was added with our Christmas update, our Cursed Possessions update. Several points have noted ghost or sliding mimics. Now, mimics will give themselves away very quickly because you get Spirit Box, fingerprints, and freezing temperatures. But they also have ghost orbs. These ghost orbs are just decoy, which it catches me off guard as well, which was also in my latest video where I thought it was a Hantu because I got Spirit Box. Because I got fingerprints, freezing, and ghost orbs, so I thought it was a Hantu, but it was a Mimic. I died and then found out it was a Mimic, but I didn't get Spirit Box yet because I was in the wrong room. So that is pretty much the ghosts. I'm just gonna take this, not to say, thank you if you sat through this entire thing, man. Mad respect, because I can go on whole talks for way too long. And I'll see you next time, maybe on my stream. I stream live on Twitch at Xander the 13th. I mean, I'm live not almost every day. I'm at least live like 2 or 3 times a week. I try to do that at the bare minimum. And hope to see you there. I do a lot of playing with viewers, so I hope to see you there, and bye-bye.